Well, hello Rockhounds, Lapidary lovers, Mike here. Welcome back to my channel. Welcome back to my tumbling station over here. Got a bunch of tumblers going. This little one over here, this 3-pounder, this is done. This has been in finish for a couple of weeks now. And it's kind of a special project I've got going on in there. And I hope it's turned out okay. I haven't really had a look at it, so I don't know. So I guess we'll find out together. I've got, like I said, a special project going on in there. Some soft rocks I'm trying to tumble. So we'll see how they turned out. Now, there's only a few rocks in there I'm especially concerned about. The rest of them are just sort of to fill out the batch. So I don't care if most of them turned out good or not, but the special project rocks in there, I do hope they have turned out nice. So let me clean out the tumbler, rinse off the rocks. We'll take a quick look at them over at the workbench, and then I'll give them an ultrasonic cleaning, and we will look at them in the studio under good lighting and decide whether or not my special project worked out or not. All right, so here they are, rinsed off. I'm keeping them wet until I can get all this stuff in the ultrasonic cleaner. So what have we got here? Well, my special project, I know there's more of it in here. There's some fluorite. So I'm trying to polish this fluorite. So I know fluorite's a very soft rock. I've got a bunch of other soft rocks in here with it. Some Jasper, some banded rhyolite, some especially soft agates. I don't normally think of agate as soft. It's usually one of the hardest rocks I tumble, but some of this stuff is very soft. Some purple sage. So it all looks pretty good wet. Let me get this stuff through the ultrasonic cleaner, and then we'll take a look at it dry and see how this stuff turned out. Hopefully the fluorite came out nice. All right, so let me set up the ultrasonic cleaner. Okay, there's all the rocks in the ultrasonic cleaner. I'm going to put a little bit of Dawn dishwashing liquid on it to help clean them up. And we're going to give them a good long 45 minutes. Yeah, I see some polish coming off of them. The nooks and crannies on that Jasper over there. Yep. Okay. So it's working. So I'll just let this go for about 45 minutes. I'll give them a final rinse afterwards. Then we should have some nice clean stones we can look at under some decent lighting and judge whether they took a good polish or not.
All right, so here's all the rocks cleaned up and laid out for your inspection and my inspection. The actual purpose of this experiment, and I like to run experiments in my small 3-pound tumbler, was to tumble a bunch of fairly soft rocks together and see what came out looking nice, especially the fluorite. I would like to tumble a bunch of fluorite in the future, and I'm experimenting with how to do that. Now, on the whole, I am very pleased with how the rocks in this batch came out, and they're all fairly soft rocks. I found from experience they're all fairly soft rocks. The one set of rocks I'm not that pleased with is, of course, the fluorite. It's gotten a little beat up on the edges. So what that tells me is that even though these are all very soft rocks I tumbled them with, they are by far the softest rocks in here. And they're not all terrible. I mean, a few of them are nice. My wife certainly likes quite a few of them. She likes the purple one. She likes the blue one. You know, she didn't look that close at them. And some of them came out pretty good. But a lot of them are a little beat up on the edges. So that tells me when I tumble fluorite, I'm going to have to tumble it by itself. I'll fill the whole tumbler with fluorite and not put in other rocks because this stuff is soft, even compared to other soft rocks. So that's something I learned from this experiment. I can tumble fluorite. I just need to tumble it by itself and probably use a lot of media and a very thick slurry, which I have found works great for really soft rocks. So what are the other rocks here, and how did they come out? Well, I am quite surprised that this one here took a pretty decent polish. This is banded rhyolite, and this is really, really soft. And I've had a lot of trouble tumbling and polishing this stuff, but this came out great. That's nice. I found this banded rhyolite out at Picket Post Mountain when I was out there last year doing some rock hounding. I could put a link to that video in the upper right. I found a lot of great looking rocks out there, including this banded rhyolite. And then what else have we got? Well, this stuff over here is called Crystal Mountain Mudstone with Druzy Quartz, at least according to my stepson. He got it out at Crystal Mountain in Wyoming. Now, there is some Druzy Quartz in it, but I see a lot of chalcedony. And look at the shine. Look how well that polished up. Now, the mudstone matrix itself is pretty soft, and it's undercut a lot. But there is a lot of chalcedony here, and there are a lot of vugs with Druzy Quartz crystals in it. So this is a really pretty rock. The chalcedony, at least, polished up really nice. The mudstone, yeah, undercut and kind of dull. But I was expecting that. But yeah, that's nice looking stuff. What else? We got a couple pieces of Jasper here, red Jasper. This one, very nice finish on it. I got a lot of this red Jasper from my buddy Jim, and a lot of it's really soft, and I've been having a lot of trouble getting a good finish on it. This one took a decent polish where the surface isn't all cracked and pitted. But, of course, this side over here is all cracked and pitted, so, that didn't clean up too good. But it took a pretty decent polish. Again, you got soft rocks like these red Jaspers, just tumble them with other soft rocks or tumble them just all by themselves, and they'll come out nice. What do we got up here? This is called purple sage. This is a Wyoming rock. There's a fellow I know in Wyoming who mines it and sells it in his rock shop. And again, it's a fairly soft rock. These pieces took, for the most part, a pretty decent polish. And there's plenty of purple in them, hence the name, purple sage. This is actually a slice off of a thunder egg that my buddy Jim gave me. Gave it to me a long time ago. It took me a while to get around to cutting it. And even though it's got chalcedony in the middle of it, it was a pretty soft chalcedony and soft matrix around it. And my early attempts at tumbling it, it came out pretty beat up. So I ran it back through with these softer rocks, and it came out pretty good. You see how translucent that chalcedony is. Nice. Here's some banded chert found in Wyoming. In fact, both these pieces here, this is petrified wood, actually, found in Wyoming. My wife and I found a bunch of this stuff on a field trip with the Riverton, Wyoming Gem and Mineral Society. I could put a link to that video in the upper right, too. Both of these are pretty soft compared to, like, the agates and stuff I normally tumble. So, but they came out really good. Not too shabby. Nice finish on both of them. The petrified wood and the chert. And this is, I don't know what kind of agate this is. Again, it was a soft one that was getting beat up when I tumbled it with other agates. So I decided to retumble it with this load just to see how it was going to turn out, since it was clearly softer than the other agates I was dealing with. And, well, it turned out pretty nice. Okay, so I think this was a good experiment. I learned a lot from it. I learned that I can tumble all these other soft rocks together and have them turn out pretty good, but the fluorite that I would like to tumble in the future, I can't mix it with other rocks because it's just not going to come out as nice as I would like. It's going to come out beat up on the edges. So, okay. That was a good learning experience. I'm pretty happy with what I learned from this load of rocks. If you guys are happy with this video and this bunch of rocks, give this video a like, give it a thumbs up, and subscribe to see my future videos. There's going to be lots more rock tumbling, rock hounding, and lapidary videos, so subscribe. I'll see you in the next video. Thanks a lot for watching this one. Bye.